The third physical feature that we're going to look at are the Eastern and Western Ghats. Again, we're going to read this section first, then we'll go back and annotate. The Eastern and Western Ghats are long mountain chains near the coast of India. The Eastern Ghats extend along India's east coast. The Western Ghats extend along the west coast. When seen from above, these two mountain ranges form a large V around the Deccan Plateau. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. This mountain range has steep slopes, narrow valleys, thick hardwood forests, and extremely heavy rains. The wet climate encourages the growth of tropical plants. The Eastern Ghats are not as wet as the Western Ghats. Several rivers flow through these green mountains, which are dotted with hardwood trees, although the rivers rarely flood. They are unsafe for travel because they move rapidly, contain many rocks, and often plunge suddenly over cliffs. So let's go back and annotate, looking for its location and the description of this physical feature. In paragraph 1, we find that the Eastern Ghats are located along India's east coast. That makes sense. And the Western Ghats extend along, you guessed it, the west coast. So we found their locations. In paragraph 2, the Western Ghats are described as having steep slopes, narrow valleys, hardwood forest, and heavy rains. Because it has these heavy rains, it lets this area grow tropical plants. So we can ask ourselves the bigger question, how might this encourage or discourage people living here? Would this be good for resources? Would it be good for travel? In paragraph 3, we find that the Eastern Ghats are not as wet. They do have several rivers, and it's also dotted with hardwood trees. It says here, although the rivers rarely flood, they are unsafe for travel. So we can kind of answer that question. It doesn't sound like it's going to be good for travel or trade. However, it does provide hardwood trees, which could be used for resources.